Dr. Didi. Dominique's here to see you.
Okay, you can send her in.
Hello.
Hi. If you can go ahead and have a seat. I'm going to close this door so that way we can have privacy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you having any physical pains? I know from last time we talked.
Just a little anxiety. We kind of had to drive past the area just to come to the session.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, that was kind of a lot.
Oh, okay.
Just a lot.
So, did your husband drive you,
Yeah.
or he drove you?
Yeah, because I remember that's what you were saying last time.
To have you to try to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It was
How-
okay.
was
Luckily, I
okay?
wasn't driving because I probably would have kind of wrecked or something. Or,
right.
Because I got flashbacks almost immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
So that was kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least you tried. I mean, that was really good.
Yeah.
Since you were talking about how anxious you are now, do you kind of want to elaborate more on the actual wreck this session? Because I know last session we didn't go too detailed into it. Or is that something that you're interested in doing? Or
Yeah, I'd probably be more comfortable talking about that than today.
Okay.
Yes.
that's fine. So I know that it was you and your son that was in the vehicle, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I thought. And what exactly happened? For the
We
wreck to
were
take place.
just on our way to the grocery store, and it seemed like it was just like a normal day. Picked him up. He sat in the back seat because he's not tall enough to sit in the front just yet. And he was back there playing his video games or whatever, and I was driving, and I don't know if I think the car in front of us stopped short, and that just made me immediately hit my brakes, and then all of a sudden it was like a buildup. Like I hit mine, then the car behind me hit theirs, and then we all collided.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, we were kind of rushing to get to the grocery store because family came in and we wanted to cook something for him and all that. So I don't think he had his seatbelt on. And that's what really made the impact so, like, overwhelming and tragic for him because he didn't have that on. And I kind of feel like it's my fault. Like we were rushing and we were trying to get everything situated, get in the car so we could go and come back. And that's kind of what led to, well, him having so bad of an injury. I was kind of okay,
Yeah.
but I mean, I did have a gash on my head and stuff, and we did go to the hospital, but I was kind of like, it was almost maybe like the adrenaline and stuff, so
Right.
I wasn't even thinking about myself, I was thinking about him, and then I was just thinking how, I should have told him, or I should have checked, and I kind of start feeling those type of emotions, and the
Like
fact that I
blaming
was there,
yourself.
yeah, the fact that I was even
Right.
in the car wreck, it just blew my mind, like, I wasn't even thinking about any of that.
Right. Well, do you think that maybe you had actually like put his seatbelt on him and maybe he had taken it off?
That could happen because he gets a little antsy back there.
Right.
And sometimes he doesn't like it on his neck and things like that. And we were talking about getting like one of those covers
Okay.
to keep
Right.
it right there, but we didn't have time to get it today
Right.
or the other day, so when it
Okay.
happened, we didn't.
Okay. Well, definitely maybe do that for
Yeah.
future reference because that would probably help with him.
Yeah.
And then as far as like the wreck and stuff, whenever he got taken to the hospital, how long was he in the hospital?
He was there for, I think about 3 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was pretty intense.
Did the police officers or anything or the doctors say anything about like how him sitting in the back maybe had helped like save him?
Yes.
rather than him like sitting in the front.
Yes, they did say that because he wasn't of the correct height. I think he had to be 4'9" or something like that, or
Okay.
4'12", and he's not of that.
Well,
he's
that's
not that
good.
yet.
That's
So
good.
yes, I am happy, and he is doing well now. It just took a long time for him to recover, and we just wanted to make sure everything was good before we took him from the hospital and underneath their care.
Right.
So
Now, is he having any kind of anxiety like what you're experiencing, or, I mean, does he seem fine? Does he just kind of brush it off, or?
he doesn't really like car rides anymore, really.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so we're trying to find ways to, like, usually he'll be, like, asleep, and so we can get him in the car.
Right, okay.
And so that's good, but, like, if he's aware of it, or we have to just calm him down, or just make sure that he's okay, and, like, okay, it's not going to be that long of a ride, or we'll go a different way. We don't have to go over there, and I'm still not driving yet, so the fact that his dad's driving, so that makes it a little better, too. So it's not me that's driving the car when we're
Okay.
going on these outings and things.
Well, like I said, definitely maybe get some of those, the seatbelt covers,
Yeah.
because that would probably help with his anxiety.
Mhm.
And then, that's really good that he is a little bit more at ease whenever his dad's driving. But do you think that maybe he would be open to coming and doing some therapy sessions, like the both of you together?
Yeah,
You
I
think
think
he
that'd
would?
be good.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
We can definitely schedule that for next week.
Okay.
Now, as far as you talked about how you had to drive by the area where you'd gotten into the car wreck to come here.
Yeah.
What kind of anxiety, like, rate your anxiety on like a 1 to 10 that you were
It was
feeling?
probably at a 7.5.
Okay.
So it wasn't that bad, but because I wasn't driving, that's
Right.
really why.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's good that you're at least kind of taking baby steps.
Yeah.
What about like walking in the area? Would you be open to maybe walking around that area?
I haven't thought about doing that.
Since it's not necessarily, and I would suggest like you just walking alone, because I feel like if you had your son with you, I feel like you would be a little bit more anxious, and then we
Right.
can kind of build up to maybe like taking him on walks with you. But definitely, I feel like if you were to walk in the area, just you by yourself, that would help out a whole lot.
I would, maybe in a few weeks, but could I bring like my husband now to
Yeah.
walk with me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, whatever makes you comfortable.
Okay.
But just so that way, kind of that you get a little bit more exposure to being around the area. Because I know that you talked about that's actually a main highway.
Yeah.
Just like how to come here,
Right.
you have to drive it to go to work.
Mhm.
So,
So I've been putting like an extra maybe 15-20 minutes on my time just to get to work because I'm going a different way.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I mean, it's good that there's at least another way that you can take until you can kind of overcome all this anxiety and stuff. Now, with him, your son, I definitely want you to try to talk to him and just kind of make sure that it's okay with him. I think that it would be really good to like help ease his anxiety to come in
Mhm.
and like have a mother-son session.
Plus, I
But-
don't want him to be afraid of like driving
Right.
because he's gonna have to ride in a car just to
Right.
get places and things. So
Well, and I know you said that he was younger, and so he's definitely going to have to learn to drive eventually,
Yeah.
and so,
and I don't want this to follow him and like make him have issues because of something that happened when he was younger.
right.
And so he's like apprehensive about driving and things like that. I don't want that. So I guess having him come with me or even having his own sessions with you could help him too, since we're both going through the same, it's just different
That's
ages.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. We could do like a mother-son session, or we can do individual ones. That's completely okay. I'd be willing to do that as long as he's more comfortable with it, because I don't want to kind of push him.
Right.
But that's really good. So it's really good that you were able to actually like at least like not have too bad of anxiety with driving past today, and that's really good that your husband's being supportive, or is he being supportive? I guess.
Yeah, I guess
Or-
he's kind of getting, I guess, fed up a little bit about the whole situation, I guess, because it's been 3 months, and I guess our son, he's recovering well and everything, and he wants to, like, he kind of has to chauffeur me around.
Right.
And so he doesn't really like that. And I don't like it either, and I'm trying to tell him that it's just like a process. Like, I'll be okay eventually, but right now, to me, it still seems like it happened yesterday.
Right.
So trying to get him to kind of understand that. And so sometimes I may not ask him to take me somewhere, or I'll just try to, if it's close, then I'll just walk or something, or get one of my close friends to take me.
Okay. Well, you said that you kind of told him, it's not for, it's not going to last forever. It's just for, you're still having the anxiety for these couple months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that, is he saying like, oh, okay, like as long as it doesn't last for 2 years or something?
It hasn't got that extreme.
Okay.
To him saying, okay, you need to be done by, or you need to get over this by a certain amount of time. So that's good, but I can see him kind of leaning towards that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I really came, because I want everything to smooth out and not everything.
Right.
So,
Well, do you think that things like today with him driving you here and him seeing your, how anxious you were in the car, do you think that maybe that will help him, to kind of see exactly, how much this affects you? Do you think that maybe that helps?
a little bit, but he seen, well, I didn't tell him what my rating was, but if I was to tell him, oh, it's not at a 10, it's at a 7, maybe he thinks he's doing his own part in helping it go down, so maybe I could go back again. But I don't feel like I'm ready to
Right.
go that many times or constantly. But every now and then it's fine, but not all the time, just going by that area.
Okay. Well, definitely maybe see if he's interested in coming in and talking with us also, because it sounds like you are having a little bit of problems because of the accident that took place. And then we can kind of talk through those, just kind of as you all as a couple, just so that way things don't escalate too quickly. We can just kind of nip it in the bud. Just like I told you, maybe for next week, do you think that you would be comfortable in just walking through the area, just by yourself, or if you wanted to take your husband with you or a friend, or I just definitely wouldn't recommend taking your son not right away until because I think maybe a little bit of what causes him to be anxious is that he sees you anxious.
Mm-hmm.
So I think definitely just maybe if you want to take a friend for support or something like that,
Yeah.
then you could definitely do that, but I wouldn't recommend taking your son. But would you be open to maybe trying to walk by there?
Yeah. As long as I have someone with me,
Okay.
yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely, if you will do that. I would say maybe try to do it 2 or 3 times. Walk through that area 2 or 3 times before our next session. And just kind of monitor exactly how anxious you are during the walk. Or as you approach where it happened, as you get closer to that area,
Okay.
just to kind of see that. And I would kind of recommend telling your friend, or if you take your husband, whoever it is, letting them know, which you don't have to if you don't want to disclose any kind of personal information. But I mean, I'm assuming it would be somebody that was kind of close to you, so they would already know about the previous wreck.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of just telling them to watch and see if any of your moods changes, or anything like that, if they can notice how anxious you become as you approach the area a little bit closer. So I think that would be kind of good, so that way you don't get any kind of biased feelings from your side or from there, so we can kind of go from there with that. So, just like I said, next session, if you can do that a couple times, you can write it down, keep it in a journal, whatever will help you remember, and you can just bring it in.
Okay.
And then, whenever you leave, we will talk to Jordan, the secretary, and we will set up, not only some individual sessions between you and I, but maybe get your husband in here also, and maybe see about some sessions in a couple weeks or so with your son. Because I definitely think that a lot of his anxiety is coming from seeing you really anxious. So, if we could just kind of get your anxiety down a little bit, then we could see if he would still experience some of that, and then we could go from there. Is that something, does that sound okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, well then I will see you in about a week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.